Welcome back to BVarsity Live. Trevor likes it over in the Dunce's
I do.
chair.
I like my little dunce chair.
Yeah. We have Stan Greene in studio now. We made a quick little transition during the break. Now he is the Kern High School District Director for School Support Services.
Dude, you're the
Do they fit that on a business card, by the way?
athletic director. Just change your title to the proper thing. You're the athletic director of Kern High School District.
I think they just tried to make it sound really important.
I need to change my title to Director of Sports Support Services.
And dealing with Trevor.
Yeah, there you go.
Sports marketing and psychology.
Exactly. Stan Greene's with us. We appreciate him taking time out of his busy schedule to be here. It's been a long week for you already, I know, because we have this heat in the forecast, and y'all made the decision yesterday to delay freshman games tonight and JV games tomorrow back an hour, which will, of course, delay the varsity games at least 45 minutes or so on Friday nights, and we'll see what all goes into that decision. And I know there's a guideline you have to follow for air quality index and for heat, and if the temperature is X, you have to do Y. But trying to do that 2 or 3 days in advance is a challenge, I know. What goes into those discussions, and how many people are involved?
Well, there's a lot of people involved, and honestly, what happened this time was we saw the projections. We knew about the rough fire up by Hume Lake in that area. We knew we were going to have potential issues there. I had spoken to a couple of our ADs, and they'd already expressed a big concern for our student safety. And so once I had input from a few of the ADs, they had already moved their games, a couple of them. So we just felt like, you know what, let's just be conservative and let's move them all right now. It really hurts you guys.
More than anybody else.
More than anyone else.
But I think we're the ones that need to worry about the least, though, honestly.
Well, it's funny because we have these conversations here. Well, why don't they just do this, this, and this, and this? And then somebody else will say, well, that doesn't make sense for them. It only makes sense for us. And that's why this is what we get.
Yeah, I feel bad for the news media. You guys, and then all the news stations in town. It really puts a lot of pressure on their newscast. But for us, I just felt like the sooner we could make the decision, the better this week. We knew what it was going to be like, and then you face matters with that fire, and we know the smoke's pouring into the valley, and we just felt like we're going to make it anyways. Let's not wait till Friday morning. Let's make it today so everyone can plan ahead.
And
go ahead, Trevor. And
it's
it's not just that. The kids that are ultimately put in the hottest part of the day are the youngest ones, the ones that haven't kind of learned how to treat their bodies properly, that understand the game, know how to tell their coach, hey, coach, I'm a little bit tired. Now I'm talking about the freshmen and sophomores rather than the juniors and seniors who are a little bit more seasoned. So that really makes a lot of sense to be able to kind of keep them out of harm's way when it is going to be so hot. I mean, and really, it's just a football game when it comes down to it.
At the end of the day,
it's just a football game.
Well, and the interesting thing is we always talk about football, but we have cross country too, and we have tennis, and we have golf.
Well, in tennis, you're on that surface, which makes it even hotter.
Yeah, and tennis, we allowed them to do their thing, make sure we had plenty of water. We allowed golf to continue. The cross country we pushed back last night,
right?
And a lot of our guys actually even canceled their tennis for today and moved it to Monday.
Okay, so it's sort of this across the board widespread decision, and if the forecast changes and it's only 102 tomorrow instead of 105, well, better safe than sorry. I mean,
yeah, but I'm praying for 105. I do not want it to be 98 tomorrow.
After
some
all
freak
this trouble.
storm comes through and it's clear. No, I'm confident. Even the San Joaquin Valley Air Control issued an air quality alert that came out yesterday afternoon after we had made the decision. But that just solidified it for us that we made the right decision. They issue very few of those, and they issued it through Friday, so we felt really good about it.
Right. And in Fresno, we have Liberty, I think, plays up in Fresno. Because of the location of the rough fire, it's even worse up there, so they can run into an issue too.
Is it Bullard canceled their JV game against Grant?
Yep. And
and that's a cancellation of the game completely. Was that ever in the talks of just canceling JV games? Because obviously you can cancel a JV game, it doesn't have any bearing on a playoff game, especially in a non-league game. Did that ever come into it, or did you just say let's just push it back and play the games?
I won't say that it never came into it. Of course, it always comes into that. But you're talking about 10% of that kid's season,
right?
And so ideally, we don't want to do that. Only in the most extreme circumstances. So it's still out there. It still could happen. But right now, that's not in the plans. Obviously, if we have lightning tomorrow night, that changes things like we did a couple of years ago.
Sure, 2011. Yeah, you say you're praying for 105. Let's just cap it at that, okay? We don't need any hotter than that.
Hey, Steve Denman had to take his boys indoors yesterday because of lightning up at Tehachapi.
Well, there you go. They may have that issue up there tomorrow. I didn't think about that. They won't have the 105, but so Stan, on the field, football season, at least for the teams we thought would be good, off to a little bit of a slow start. Liberty and BHS 0-2. But a team like Stockdale had a good win. West High had a good win to open its season. Centennials looked pretty good. What are your impressions of the on-field product so far this year in the Kern High School District?
I think I've seen 4 or 5 games. Ridgeview looks good.
Yep.
I think Liberty's going to be really tough once they get Love back. I think they're going to be a
And
team
he
to
will
contend
be back
with.
tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad he's back and healthy. And I think they're the team, and Ridgeview's the other team in town right now. West does look good. I'm going to see Stockdale tomorrow, so I can't wait to see them. They're doing good stuff.
Yeah, Stockdale. We'll talk about the games here in our next couple of segments, but Stockdale and Atascadero is really an opportunity for a statement for the SWIL. Really, they haven't had one yet, other than playing teams tough.
Yeah, and Stan, I'm sure you had a talk with Ken Chapman over East. I like this idea. I know it's a working title, but I think the whole kind of structure of it is really strong, and that's the Battle of the East, where it's Miramonte, Foothill,
Highland and East,
and they're playing for this trophy. And Ken actually sent me a photo of the trophy. Let me see if I can actually get up on the phone. But I think it's such a neat idea that they're doing this, kind of bringing back a little bit of here, John. See if you can get this in there. It's kind of a neat photo. So it's actually a pretty cool trophy.
yeah, that's just a big glare.
Yeah, but I like the idea that these 4 schools that have kind of taken a hit over the last decade or so with the kind of the move to the west side of town. Stan, for you, you like this idea, giving those guys a little bit extra to play for?
Oh, absolutely. Ken came to me before the season and said, hey, I've got an idea. I want to do this. And I told him, I said, talk to other schools, get the agreement, and run with it. I think it's a fantastic idea. Create a little bit of, bubble over there and get them kind of going. It's going to be neat.
Yeah, it should be really cool and kind of give them something to play for besides the carrot of a league title or a section title or something. Let's see, what else is on the hopper for this year? Anything different in the 15-16 school year on your end?
No, once things settle down, hopefully soon,
Right.
for my office, we'll start planning out the All-Star volleyball game. We'll do the All-Star basketball game again.
Big successes. Those were fun last year.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah.
The volleyball game was really neat. We did that banquet. Of course, you were there, and that was a neat thing. I don't know if we'll go as far as the banquet again this year, but we're definitely going to do that and partner with some sponsors to do scholarships again. Run with the basketball idea. We really liked that. That had a great turnout. The Peak Awards was great again. The California did an awesome spread on it. You guys were...
Yeah, we went all out on that.
You did. It was fantastic.
We had a good partnership there.
You on Friday nights now, let's say hypothetically a normal Friday night where we don't have a heat or a lightning issue or something, and hopefully that's what most of this year will be for you. What is your role on a Friday night? At that point, is that just the fun part for you, kind of checking out some football and that sort of thing, or do you have an administrative duty where you have to check on facilities and things like that throughout the night?
No, and I'm not a facility guy. I'm more of a, I'm the problem solver when things come up. If something happens, my guys know who to go to. I'm their contact when something happens, like a lightning, that lightning
Right.
storm or air quality issues. I've been in administration now for 14 years or 15 years, I think it is. So, just that experience of all of the time that I've had in administration, knock on wood, I think I've had almost every scenario possible, but, you get surprised from time to time. My role is really to go out and support the guys and let those people on the ground floor, the coaches and the players know who we are as a district. And, we're there to support them and root for them.
Sure. And the fewer phone calls on Friday night, the better then.
Yeah, a
most
good
part.
Friday. Well, I took last Friday morning off, and my phone rang nonstop. My dad was here from New York, and he looked at me and said, "You having a good day off?" And I said, "Yeah, that's just kind of part of the deal, you
Right.
know." Once I went into administration, one of our older administrators said, "You're 24/7," and that really is the truth. Even when you take a day off, it's just like your job. You guys get contacted all hours of the day, and mine's the same. So Friday night for me, I'll grab my son. I'm lucky enough I get to take him with me.
Mm-hmm.
Last week we went to the first half of the BHS Edison game, and then I'm sorry to say that we went to the second half of the Centennial Clovis West game, but I'm not going to take the blame for that.
Jinx.
I'm not. There was another guy there that showed. No, that's
Hold on.
you.
Wait.
Breaking
The
news,
nickname
everybody.
has been taken off. It is now Stan Cranes.
No, there was someone else there. I'll tell you later. We'll throw him under the bus.
Well,
but-
I think it was a guy named Darian Owens and Caleb Kelly who are top level recruits for Clovis
What'd you
West.
call
I think
me?
that's really what happened.
The messenger of the angel of death. Is that what you called me?
Is that appropriate for daytime television?
We're on the web.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was when you walked past me and the team had the lead, and did you know this? Did you hear this story
From Ridgeview? From Ridgeview's game last year?
Yeah, and he walks by while they have the lead and says, "Hey,
He's
what are you doing next weekend?"
He's overblowing this.
And I told him, I said,
I was just
Trevor,
asking him if he actually had plans in
Look,
place.
these are
already.
just rules as a sports person you have to follow. You wait till the game is over before you say something like that.
Well, it went all downhill.
I didn't know that we had to tell you this, but apparently we do. Let's see what else, Stan. We couldn't keep a straight face. Could not keep a straight face.
It's a true story, though.
Yeah, I know. I was there.
Angel of death.
For some reason, I'm not even going to go there. That was a day to remember for many, many reasons. That day, Ridgeview and Redlands East Valley. What is wrong with you?
Nothing. I'm just thinking about that day. Just the whole day.
I'm suddenly Phantom of the Opera music is playing in my head.
So my son has a lamb for the fair, and he's a little overweight, and they put a mask on him so he can't eat. So if we have a team from here make it to a regional game, I will
just put a
bring that
muzzle on him?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, there you go. Speaking of regionals, that actually is a good segue from my last point. Any section champion can get into a regional this year. Any section champion does get into a regional this year, I should say.
Does.
Yeah, absolutely will. I can tell by the look on your face that's something you like.
I love it because, then you don't have the issue that we had in, was it 11, 12, where Wasco didn't get in, BHS didn't get in. I really like that. I love that direction. I think it's great for football in the state of California. We've also bounced around a couple ideas at the local level in the central section of maybe doing 2 nights of Valley Championship games. So, for example, the original preliminary discussion was to mirror the state. So, I think Division II was on Friday, Division I and III were Saturday. So there was some discussion of Friday night, Division II, IV, and VI would play, and Saturday 1, 3, and Open or what have you would play.
Sure.
So we could see more games. And I've been a fan of that.
that I've thought about for a while. Why not have a north section, a Fresno Clovis location, a Hanford Visalia location, a Bakersfield location, and have all 3 of them open, and then just adjust it to whoever is the higher seed. And so, say a D4 team from Fresno is hosting, you put them up there. Say Kennedy in D6 is hosting, you put it down here, and then just supplant those games specifically to match the home team, and then keep it as such.
Yeah,
I know it's a great idea.
I think it is too. There was a push to make it a single venue, which I'm not a fan of. And one of the reasons I'm not a fan of is it takes money away from our schools. Our schools could make $6,000, $8,000, $9,000 off their snack bar alone, which goes directly back to our students for hosting a game. But I am a fan of what you just said. Fact is that I think it was that first year that I had this job. We had BHS was home, Ridgeview is home, and Garces was home in Division I, II, and III. And I really wanted to see all 3 games.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we couldn't get anyone to move, and so they played them all at 7, and I saw 1 game.
Right. Yeah. And all of us did, which is too bad. Trevor, I'm going to leave it up to you to get 3 different stadiums to leave a weekend open with no guarantee of any actual games. That's going to be your task.
There's no guarantee? You have them all booked, and then you just put the proper games in it.
Well, what if all 6 teams that are hosting are Fresno area teams?
Then a couple of them come down here. Oh, well.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're adjusting this plan on the fly. We got to take a break. Are you going to stick around for?
Sure.
Yeah.
Can you make picks? Are you allowed to do that?
I'll come up with something.
All right. We'll make Stan make some picks. We'll put them on the spot after this on BVarsity Live.